It's a myth that it's always the wife who's not up for sex. Sometimes it's the husband who's not up for sex. He never was, he's not interested in sex, his penis doesn't get hard, and it's always been that way for 10, 20 years of marriage. So this seems odd to a woman because, like, we're used to men wanting us, right? So what is going on with these men? And I have two possible solutions and then something else that could help you. Question to ask yourself. One possibility is that the man is gay. There are still men who get married to women because they're uncomfortable with their homosexuality, either due to their culture or whatever personal beliefs they have. So they may marry a woman that they really like and be really good friends with her, but they will not want sex. They may have sex once or twice just to have a child with you, but they won't want to sleep with you. They won't want to cuddle with you. And if you carefully watch these men, you'll notice that they prefer the company of other men. There's a word for the wife. It's called a beard. I don't know why they call it that. And you may feel like it's unfair to you that he did that. But again, that's going to go to the question later on of why you chose him. I once was friends with a woman like that. Every time she tried to touch him in any way, he would push her away. He insisted on sleeping in a separate bedroom from her. But they were close friends. Like when I was with her, often they would call, they would make plans about the dinner or about the daughter. They had a daughter. And so I was really sure he was gay from the first time I saw him. So, and one time when we all did something together as couples, he was very interested in talking with my ex-husband at the time, who has no interest in men, but he was much more drawn to talking to the man, very, very interested in talking to the man. So that just confirmed my suspicions. And it broke her heart. The other possibility is that he was sexually abused. That's why his penis doesn't get hard. Sexually abused as a child and shut down sexually. That's another possibility. I don't know any other possibilities, but if any of you know in the comments, please let me know. But the bigger question I always have, and this is what I have to ask myself, often when we're in a relationship that's unsatisfying like this, we ask, what's wrong with this person? And there are things wrong with that person. A gay man should not marry a woman. A sexually abused man has to heal his trauma. The gay man should marry a man. The sexually abused man should get therapy. So there is something wrong with them. Absolutely. Very wrong in that what they chose and where they're at in life. But that doesn't help because focusing on that person, why they're not touching you, why they don't want to have sex with you, trying to figure out what's wrong with them, trying to figure out what books they can read, or pushing them into therapy, or complaining, or feeling sorry for ourselves, or feeling heartbroken. None of that helps because here's the big question. Why did you marry that person? Out of all the other options you had, and I'm not saying this to be mean, this is what I had to do for myself. Sometimes our mistake isn't that we did something wrong. We picked the wrong person. Why? Why did I choose that person to marry out of all the other people in the world? Why was I attracted to that person? And second, why am I staying? Why am I staying in this loveless marriage? This sexless marriage? Why did I choose someone who doesn't enjoy fucking me? Because they never did. If they were gay or sexually abused, they never liked fucking you. Was it for financial security? Was it because you thought you could fix them or help them or heal them? Was it safe in some way, familiar in some way? And there you'll find your freedom. In the case, I knew a couple where the man never wanted to have sex. I think they had sex just a few times in decades of marriage. And she married him knowing all this about his abusive childhood, and she thought, I can help this guy. And that's a focus on other people, abandoning ourselves to heal other people, running away from ourselves to try to heal other people and focusing on them. It's an escape. Or maybe someone who's avoidant is more comfortable than someone who can give you the intimacy because intimacy is too scary for you. These are all kind of questions I had to ask myself for why I married someone who was emotionally avoidant and sexually shut down. Although we had sex, it was very low quality, with no emotional content at all, and very quick. But why was I okay with that? Why did I choose that? Why did I stay in that? And sometimes you have reasons to stay, like some of these men are actually very good fathers. Both of these men that I'm telling you about are really good fathers. But I mean, also your husband could be very fat and gross and you don't want to fuck him, but he's a good father. So that goes into, sometimes we stay with someone because the woman could be a good mom, the guy could be a really good father. Maybe he's the provider and you are not able to live on your own financially, so you have reasons to stay. He's a good father, he's a good provider, and you're willing to give up the sex and the emotional intimacy that comes with that. So, just get honest with yourself about what you're willing to put up with, why you chose that person, and that kind of gives you a little power back so you don't feel so helpless. And, some things that you want to do to improve your life. Because, hey, being financially dependent on someone or having children with someone who's a poor partner, and now you don't want to break up your family, you don't want to divorce because you have children together, or one child or many, it's very heartbreaking. So allow yourself to be heartbroken. Do some somatic work. Allow yourself to feel heartbroken. What is your heart trying to tell you? There are a lot of things you can do other than feeling endlessly frustrated, because it is heartbreaking. So my only way that I can relate to this is that I was married to someone where my sex life was extremely dissatisfying, not because of the quantity, but because of the quality. It was extremely heartbreaking and dissatisfying, and I had to suppress large parts of myself. The parts of myself that wanted to play and explore sexually with my husband were denied, and I had to suppress them to be with him. I'm not going to blame him, but the impact on me was I had to shut down my sexual playfulness, my romantic playfulness. I had to shut down these parts of myself that are healthy parts that want to interact with my partner sexually and romantically and emotionally, because those parts were unwelcome. So I had to hibernate them. I had to suppress them. I had to stop longing, wanting, desiring, and that kept me from growing. That kept me from growing sexually, emotionally, romantically. I had to put that on ice. And so by the time I got divorced, I spent 5 years or so bringing those parts back to life with, a lot of it was very painful. Then I was experimenting to get sexual experiences, and they were all in hookup situations, which left me really heartbroken. I would have been better off emotionally if I had met someone for a relationship in which all those parts were welcome. But I haven't met anyone like that, so I was experimenting in these hookup situations to try to experience my sexuality, my desire, all those parts that were suppressed. These men allowed, except they weren't relationship people, they ended up just being hookups. It was just mostly younger guys. And so that was not good for me either. That was actually even worse. emotionally. Um, yeah, so you can't, I didn't find any answers that way, but I think women who leave those men and then find a good partner where all those parts are welcomed, they can really thrive. In a healthy relationship, you can really thrive. And I tell you, there's nothing more beautiful and more radiant than a woman who's loved and well fucked in a relationship. Nothing more beautiful. But again, the kind of men who can do that, they're so rare. That's all I have on this video, really. If anybody has any advice for women who are in sexless marriages, or experiences you wish to share, please leave that in the comments. And please remember to be respectful in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video.